Okay. Stop. Go. Quit it. Okay, thank you. Okay, so my phone overheated because of the sun. Because the sun, my phone was absorbing the light. And there's a bee here that will not leave me alone. It's like not trying to leave me be. Okay, so I'm going to just let the bee do what it's doing. So, at any rate, like I was saying, I grew up in an environment where I was a little girl with a lot of adult men who were not fully grown men, but, 19, 20, 21. And they had a lot of, they used to do things that tortured me, like take my food. And if I was watching TV, just come in and turn the channel. And that behavior created a system inside of me of defensive-ness and fear and feelings of powerlessness. I often felt powerless in my life experience because of what I was enduring in my experience as a child in my home, right? And understanding that karma, Saturn, which governs our karma, that the karma that comes from these patterns literally create patterns. I'm sorry, this bee is really loving me so much. The karma creates patterns of beliefs. Little honey, go away. Here's the thing, the bee, you can sting me if you want to. And if you sting me, then you're going to die. That's the thing. If you sting me, you're going to die. So I'm going to ask you to just let me be. So the thing that's important to get is that our karma is created not just from what we do, but from what we think. And what we think then draws in the actual experience that we're having. And so we have an opportunity to, in this experience of Black history, to look at our karma and what we have been taught to believe. It finally has stopped. Well, no, it's still here. She's just not. Okay. And here's the thing. I'm like, I get I'm your queen. I'm your queen. I know, right? So in that, let me be. All right, little girl. Go on. Stop it. So it's important for us to recognize that the experiences that we have with people, right? So when I'm having an experience as an adult where I feel powerless, I know that comes from my childhood. It's not that somebody is doing something to me. It's that I am generating a frequency, a karmic frequency that then creates the same experiences over and over again until I awaken to the fact that I am the center of this reality, right? So even as a child, having uncles or older brothers that would do things that felt like torture to me, that was still my karma. Why? Because in a past life, yes, that's how it works. In a past life, I created the same sort of scenarios for others. That's the thing to understand in this karmic thing. That I created the same sort of frequency that I was feeling inside of myself for others. So because I carry that frequency inside of me, then I have to take responsibility for it and heal it and transmute it. One of the other things that's really fascinating for me is that recently I bought myself a red bicycle because when I was a little girl, I wanted a red bicycle for one Christmas. I think it was the Christmas that I turned 11 or so. I wanted a red bicycle so badly. And in my memory, I think I told everybody in my family that I wanted this red bicycle. That's what I believe from this perspective now as an adult. I don't know that that's true because I do know that on that day of Christmas, the bicycle didn't come and nobody mentioned it, right? So maybe I believed I told everyone. I have no idea. But I was holding something in that. I was holding a seed of disappointment so that the things that I would want to come into manifestation that I really desired a lot they wouldn't come, because I had this karmic pattern that said that I am not worthy of what I deeply desire because of this experience that I had as a child. So what I did recently was bought myself a red bicycle so that I could shift the energy and the karma around it, so that I could go back and heal the part of me that was still the 12-year-old little girl holding on to like, oh, nobody loves me and they didn't get me what I wanted and I don't get to have what I need and all that kind of stuff, right? So I had to go back into my own story, into my own reality, and do the work and move that energy, so that, because I was still living that karma over and over and over again. Not getting things the way I actually really want them. Not feeling heard. Not feeling like I can have what I desire and what I want. And so I can't expect somebody else to clean that up. I can't expect somebody else to course correct that. I have to do that for myself. Because guess what? I'm a grown-ass woman now, and I'm not a little girl who's 12, who can't go buy her own things, or who is waiting for somebody to come and fix something and make it better than it was before. And it's a real interesting pattern that I see, that I've seen inside of myself as a woman. Like if something breaks down, I'll have an idea like I gotta find somebody to fix it before I even try to fix it myself. This sort of waiting, it's like a way of giving our power away. And so as Black people, or people who identify as Black, or people who are moving through this evolutionary healing experience of what it means to be a Black-bodied person in this country, it's important for us to see that we've been conditioned, honestly, to not fulfill our own potential in interesting ways, right? And you have to see how that relates to you. Like I said, I have gone and done so much research. Like I totally understand, because we are not close to the equator any longer, like melanated beings thrive best when we're near the equator. Because the equator has the energy and the frequencies that really illuminates our melanin and gives us strength and strengthens our nervous system and all those sort of things. And when we understand that, like I had to understand, why am I vulnerable here? Why am I susceptible to, like you go to the doctor, they're like, Black people are at the highest rates of this and the highest rates of that and the highest rates of that. Why is that? What is the karmic experience of that? And what I've discovered is like, these foods are not good for Black bodies. What happens when we're not close to the equator? How that impacts our ability to heal ourselves and regenerate our bodies. The thinking, the commercialism and the programming and the conditioning, the religions that tell us that that divinity is outside of us and not internal. All of these things become karmic experiences because everything is cause and effect. Everything is cause and effect. And today, Saturn is at the 16th degree of Aquarius. So Aquarius is the mind of God. It's what we're becoming. Literally, with Saturn in Aquarius, it's an incredible opportunity for us to get out of jail fast, right? It's literally how to break out of this system quickly. We have Saturn in Aquarius. It's already been there for a year plus. It'll be there for about another year more. And it's literally anchoring in the age of Aquarius into our new way of being. And so we have to undo. It's a quick fix, right? But it's not. You have to still identify everything because Saturn is in the details. So it's not a quick fix like you don't have to, take responsibility for how you're behaving, or that's not what it is. It is an opportunity for you to get in there and do your work and do it like to be a quick study is what it is. And so with Saturn at the 16th degree, the 16th degree is to unify, right? To unify. And what are you unifying yourself to? You're unifying yourself to yourself. That's it. You're unifying yourself to the greater understanding of who you are and how you function and what you need and what you're capable of and what you're here for. That's what you're unifying yourself to. There's no other thing to unify yourself to outside of yourself. And as the feminine, we often believe that we have to unify ourselves to a man for his protection. No, you need to unify yourself to your own masculine energy inside of yourself. Learn how your energy works. That's the thing. If women would take time to gather ourselves back entirely. This is true for Black people too. Gather yourself back entirely before you feel like you gotta fucking save somebody and make somebody else's life better and help them. We need to really give ourselves the things that we want other people to give us. White people cannot give us anything. They really cannot. They actually don't have anything that's worthy of what we are. They don't, except they could worship us. That's what they could do. But they can't give us anything that they have. And nothing they have will serve us to our highest and best. Not one thing that they have, except worship. Honestly, that's and the more that we love ourselves and put ourselves in our divine right consciousness and divine right way of being, everyone else will have to fall to their feet. And I mean, fall on their feet. Fall on their faces. And because when we step into the understanding of what we are, no one else can match us. That's just how it works. No one else can match us. And this is not an ego thing. This is really pure love. This is really, that's why I say, do you understand what we've built in this country? Do you understand that we have endured 250 years of torture and terror, and we still continue to create and generate incredible fucking things? Why the fuck is that? Why do you think that is? Why do you think there are entire systems designed to keep us out of our understanding and wisdom of what we are? Why? There is a reason for that. So when we understand that and begin to embody it from the perspective of, I know who I am, I know what I have, I know what I'm capable of, I know that I'm the authority, I know that I built this shit, I know that I have the power, and call your power back to you, everyone else will have to bow down. It's just, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not even saying that from a perspective of, I'm saying it from a perspective of love. Because when we deeply love ourselves, the universe can only reflect that level of love to us. And that's just how it works. That's just how it works, right? This is not about power or control. This is about the purest function of light. We are the light bearers. We are the light bearer. We are, when the Bible said, Jesus said, I am the light, I am the truth, I am the way. The I am presence is that, and that presence abides in us, melanated beings, more easily and effortlessly than it does in others. That's all I'm saying, right? So it's like the tallest tree is going to get the most light because it has the ability to grow taller and get to the light, right? That is what we are. So this is not about superiority. These are just fucking facts. That's all they are. It's just facts. It's how we function. And when we get in the right mindset to understand how we function, there is no other group that can do anything to harm or hinder us. And the reason that they are capable of doing it now is because we are generating that frequency. So, today is the day of Saturn, karma. Look at your life and ask the stories you're telling yourself. See where that is karmic. See where that is. How have you generated that? How have you created that? And be honest with yourself. Be loving with yourself. Be compassionate, not from a space of blame. This shit is actually fun when you start playing well, right? And that's why I surround myself now with people who really are interested in their own evolution and healing from the perspective of responsibility. Not trying to get something outside of them to make them feel better about what's going on inside of them. And that's not the easiest work to do. That has been the most challenging work for me to do. To realize that no one can save me. No one can give me anything that I'm not willing to give myself. People can share, people can show me how they do it, but ultimately what I need to do for myself, nobody else can do. And that's true for all of us. Right. So this morning, Adina called me and immediately she was like, let's do a ritual. And that is how we move ourselves forward. In the past, that kind of conversation would have been, they said this and I don't like them, and how come they didn't, and girl, what? We don't do that shit no more. That shit is outdated. Who gives a fuck about what people, what people's shortcomings? We're actually healing ourselves and moving ourselves forward by responsibility and accountability and understanding that we are creators and generators in this reality. We are source. We are God in this reality. We always have been, which is why we built this country, which is why the building of this country has changed the entire world. The entire world follows the culture of America. You go anywhere, and when you go, like I'm in Los Angeles, I can go into Koreatown, into a restaurant, and they're playing hip hop music. Go into a Mexican restaurant, they playing hip hop too. They playing Jay-Z, right? Why? Because we are the generators of culture. We are it. And if we don't know that we're it, and if we don't step into our lives like we are it, then we're giving our power away. And that is karma. All right, you all. Peace and blessings. I love you so very, very much. I really do. This is a beautiful Black History Month experience that we are having, and really giving ourselves the opportunity to redefine the definitions of this thing called black and white, and remembering that this was a construct that was created in the 1400s. The actual experience or race designation of black and white are false. Those are illusions. They are not real. And as we begin to ask ourselves the questions, maybe we will loosen up on how we name ourselves black and white. Maybe we will begin to say, I'm actually not a black person. I'm actually a God. I'm actually God manifest. I am actually, when you see me, you see the Father who has sent me. And anybody can claim that for themselves, but you have to be willing to live into that, because that is a real power claim when you say, when you see me, you see the Father who has sent me. And that's true no matter if you believe it or not, as it is what it is. So, all right. I hold my power. I call it all back to me with grace and ease and love and joy and trust. And I know that each person within the sound of my voice is actually experiencing the evidence of the love of God that they are. That they are actually experiencing the miracles and the manifestations of the power of their creations consciously, joyfully, and abundantly. So for this, I am grateful. I trust and I know that our ancestors are celebrating and cheering us on. And I ask for their support. I ask for their guidance. I ask for their love. I ask for the trees and the creepy crawlies and the birds and everything in this universal system to support us in guiding ourselves into a higher way of living and being on planet Earth. For this, I give thanks, I let it be, and I say, Alhamdulillah, Ashe, and Aso, and so it is. Peace and blessings. Bye-bye.